I want to talk a little bit about why Catholic media kind of stinks. All right, gonna mix it up today. A little Coke Zero, see how good this actually is. I bet it's gonna taste pretty terrible. Yep, tastes terrible. Being Catholic doesn't mean you have to make boring content, but I feel like that's sort of the norm with a lot of stuff. Not everything, but I think if you looked at all of the Catholic content, threw it in the chat and said, hey, analyze this and let me know like what feels modern, what feels out of date, I'm going to probably say that 90% of it is going to feel out of date. I was watching a creator who makes content with my son, and the creator, very good intended, but it just is like the type of content they were creating. I don't think it resonates. My son looked at me and he goes,
I know you're my dad. I'm not just saying this because you're my dad. Like, that stuff's really boring, and the stuff you're making does look a lot better.
Obviously, he is still biased because he's my son, but I think it's important as Catholics creating content to push the boundaries. I think the reason why a lot of Catholic content tends to look boring or has historically looked boring is because it's following a trend of what content was that's like 10 years ago. That's safe. And I think as a church, we're often afraid to be early adopting in new styles. And I'm not talking about the content. So don't get me twisted when saying like, oh, we should be making sensationalized content. No, I'm talking about just what it looks like, the approach, the music, the shots, all that stuff. That I feel like we play it too safe. And that's the reason why people look at this stuff and feel like, we don't get it. This is something I learned years ago when I was, just in my adolescence and my teens, and I was seeing what the world presented, and I would try the things that the world presented. I was left feeling empty. And then I would try the things that the church and God had to offer, and I would leave that feeling fulfilled. And I was like, but why does the church stuff just look so boring? It's like you got to get through all this stuff and then you're just like, oh, actually, this is really great. While the worldly stuff looks like it's amazing and then leaves you empty. I would encourage you, if you're a Catholic making Catholic content, or heck, even if you're a fellow believer in Jesus Christ, push the boundary. Push the boundary creatively. Try stuff that feels like, ooh, I don't think anyone's going to do this. Is this okay? I'm sure it's fine. I doubt you're going to do anything that's going to be that sensationalized in your creative approach. And, you might be surprised on who you reach with that. All right. Well, good luck. And also, this is still the OG. The silver can? I mean, come on. I know I'm all about wearing black, but this silver and red's just, it's hard to beat.